All right. Got Quan in here. Hold on. Let's bring Quan in here. You.
Peace. What's up, bros?
What's up? What's up?
What's the deal?
We got our man Battle up in here. What's up?
What's up? Hey, let's take. I appreciate y'all. Letting me come on for a little bit, man, and break some bread with y'all, man.
Man, you came in at the right time because we just finished talking NBA 2K and Madden. So I mean, we can. You came in at the right time. Talk some Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Valhalla. Yes, man. I'm a big fan of Valhalla.
Yeah.
Despite some of the things I've been hearing, me personally, that I've witnessed when it comes to some of the certain things like the bugs and the effects of things of that nature, man, it's an experience. You know, Assassin's Creed always gives you that historical type of experience to where you feel as if like you're playing as that particular character,
right?
And you get engulfed and you begin to have a love for the backstory, the historical events, as well as being a chance to like see everything from the environment, how the environment has been created. It's an amazing experience, man. And then on top of that, you know, it's always good to get into some type of battles and some type of axe slinging or some arrow shooting, you know. So
yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed. Just the whole enterprise.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that they actually put it in the form of the Viking, the Nordic time.
Yeah,
I think that was amazing, man. So yeah, I mean, it's a great game. I enjoy it.
I've been playing it. I'm not too far into it, but for me, I was really excited about the Viking setting and everything because I had just been rewatching Vikings, right?
Yeah.
So I turned it on and you got to pick Ivor, and I'm like, maybe you should have just made it about Ragnar, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. I personally enjoyed Odyssey and Origins a little better just because of the setting. I found those settings a little more interesting. But if you like those games, you're gonna like Valhalla. It's more of the same. The only problem that I really have with it, it's you turn it on, and you once you get to England, you look at the map and there's 10,000 things to do all at once.
Yeah.
And you look at it, and for me, it was fatiguing, right? Because I played a lot of Origins, I played a lot of Odyssey, and so I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'm starting back at square one right here. Yep. You're power level 20, and you look at the map, and right next door, they're talking about you got to be power level 270. And I'm like, I'm never going to get there, ever, right? But in terms of the actual gameplay, it's fun. I love running around. Like you said, the historical settings. They do a fantastic job with that. They're going to be doing another one of their discovery tours later on with this, where it's just there's no combat or anything. You go around and they just give you actual historical facts from all the different locations. So that's always fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Viking raidings, going around to the different settlements and everything, the monasteries. Overall, it's a good game. For me, I'm not enjoying it as much as the previous two just because of the setting and a little bit of fatigue with that formula.
Right.
But if you haven't put in that number of hours into the previous two games, it's a definite buy.
Yeah, for sure. And I kind of feel that way. I enjoyed Odyssey and Origins more. Like I said, like the setting, like I think the settings were a little bit brighter, like they're just more eye-catching in terms of like the scenery, but I'm still enjoying. Like don't get me wrong. Like these are small critiques that we have of Valhalla. Like it's still an excellent game, right? But I was a little bit more invested in the characters early on, from early on with Origins and Odyssey than I am with Valhalla. Right now, I'm not connecting with Ivor, just him personally just yet. Now, Assassin's Creed does an amazing job with their storytelling, so I'm sure I'm gonna reach a point where I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, now we're here we go. Now I got purpose with this guy, right? Just early on, and I'm not that far into the game either. Just early on, no, not really connected with them too much. But that's
because right now he's a sidekick. He's your lackey for your brother.
He's
sending you on errands.
Yeah,
Not like my man Bayek in the background there.
right. Like Bayek. I mean, look, the way they did it for Origins was awesome, man. Like from the opening scene, it's about getting revenge, right?
Yeah.
It's he's on a mission. So like you're immediately invested in him, and you know what he's about throughout that whole game. But like I said, for Ivor, I mean, I don't dislike him. I mean, he's fine. I like or she's fine, whichever character you decided to use. But that and another thing that was kind of a letdown was using the woman in the present. What's her name?
Layla.
Yeah, using Layla, because the way the direction they took her character in Odyssey, at the end of Odyssey, I don't know what I was expecting, but I was expecting maybe a little bit more of a tie-in there, or a better tie-in, or it'd be a little bit more connected to the story, because they found a way to do it in Odyssey, right? I'm gonna say a little spoiler for those of you who haven't played all the way through. Cassandra, the character I use, Cassandra, she's there in the present, right? And she passes that staff over to Layla, right? So even though it kind of jumps back and forth, right, in the end, you see Cassandra talking to Layla, so it kind of brings that story together a little bit more, right? But now it's just like different character, different time, and you have no idea what the point of Layla is again, right? And you just don't care about what's going on in the present. How you feel about that, Quan?
Well, like I said, from that perspective, I gotta dig a little bit more deep in those particular titles for
well, you don't have to dig that deep, because what's going on in the present never really matters in the game. Like that's like they try to tie it in, but it doesn't really tie in. They did a little bit better of a job in Odyssey, a little bit better, but for the most part, it doesn't really matter. It feels like it takes away from the game for me.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think even in just going back to, because all of them have the particular part where you kind of go out of, I guess, the particular incubus or whatever, and then you tap back into reality or the future. And yeah, it's kind of like I really don't even want to like indulge in that part. I just go back into like the historical times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what you bought the game for.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not about the animus, and that's they can kind of save that. I mean, I understand the concept of it, and it's great that they use it, because they want to tap back into the brain, and so it's cool.
Yeah, I'm all about the storytelling and narratives. That's why I play games in general. And I only play single player games really. And when they pull you out and bring you to the present, all I'm doing, I'm not paying attention to anything they're saying. I'm looking at what button prompt do I need to press to get back in time. I have no interest whatsoever in what's going on in modern times, especially.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Especially since they kind of had the formula change with the whole series and made it this big open world RPG with Origins. And it's like, it's not even about the Assassin's Brotherhood anymore. It's not even about Assassins versus Templars. I mean, Assassin's Creed Origins, it says it right in the name, right? That's where it all started. And then the next one was even further back in time. So like, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. You made a great point about that, because you take that particular aspect of the game, and you notice that even with the new Assassin's Creed, with Valhalla, like they really don't put anything. I mean, they do, but like the Brotherhood more so isn't really kind of the whole narrative. It's more so about like the Vikings, and it's about Ivor and Sigurd, Sigurd, whatever, going on this whole new journey to raid lands, and they don't really show anything. I mean, they do, but it's kind of secondary. Like the whole assassins, like it's just secondary. This is more so in the environment of like what the Vikings want to do, and it seems like they're kind of taken away from that and the whole story of the Templars. They want to kind of go with what that particular individual wants to do.
Yeah, it's like they kind of at one point they kind of finished the assassin story that they were trying to tell, but the series was so popular that like we got to keep it going. And now they're just kind of picking different whatever historical setting they want to use, and then they're like, oh well, let's sprinkle some assassin stuff in there also, so we can keep using the name that everybody knows.
Yeah,
That's definitely noticeable.